Blog Talk Radio.
How you doing today on Ybetv segment, Talking with Tunchi? Today I am about to talk to the author of Rise of a Coke Queen, the amazing Joy Jackson. Let's get on the line. Joy, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, how you doing today, Joy?
Hey, I'm good. I had to see was you there or not. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. All right, well, we're going to dive straight into it. First, let's let people know a little bit about where you from, like where you come from.
I'm from Mississippi, a little town called Morton. And within that town, it's like this little hood named 481. You heard of 8 Mile with Eminem and all that, right? So I got my own little hood. We call it 480. We call it 481. We're proud of our hood. So everywhere we go, we scream 481. So that's where I'm from.
Oh, okay, 481. All right, that sounds cool. The first thing I wanted to ask you was a little bit about your background. Let the people get a general idea, like where you come from.
As far as like the state, Mississippi, what you mean?
Oh no, just background, like your upbringing, how you come from, like some of your trials and tribulations coming through life, going into like leading up to becoming a writer. I'm so sorry for not being specific.
That's okay. To becoming a writer, I actually, I'm just gonna be honest. I actually was raised up right. I was brought up right. Although I was raised in the hood, I had one of those parents that took out the time to raise me right. A lot of my problems came as an adult and making bad decisions. And I never liked reading books when I was younger. I always liked writing poems and reading poems, but couldn't pay me to read a book. It wasn't until actually I ended up getting in some trouble when I was a little younger and going to prison. And it was in prison where I picked up my first book, and read it, and it happened to be street literature. And I kind of, had been through everything that was in the book, so I related to it. And from there, it was like I knew I could do it. And I kept reading, and I kept reading, and I kept telling myself when I come home, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write my own book. And that's pretty much what I did.
So basically, okay, well, we kind of got a general idea about Rise of a Coke Queen, what the book is about. It kind of tell all in the title right there. So okay, so how would you say that you got into writing? Like when you finally did come home, like what really pushed you to the point where you like, you know what, today, pen, paper, or Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, I'm about to start writing today. Like what got you to that point where you was at?
Well, actually, I knew I had it in prison. It was a matter of convincing somebody I had it. Because I read a book by Wahida Clark, and in the back of the book, it told her personal story, how she had written the book in prison. So I was like, okay, if she can go to prison and write a book, I can go to prison and write a book. And when I came home, I started writing it on paper, just paper alone, because I didn't want to grab the computer and do it. And I guess broke people issues. I just kept saying, you know what, everybody got something that they doing with their life. They going to school and becoming lawyers, and they got good jobs. And me being a convicted felon, I didn't have many options. I can't sing, I can't rap, I can't act. That's the only talent I have. I know how to write a story, so I gotta maximize that. I gotta go for what I know. I mean, I done did everything else. What's the worst that could happen? So that's kind of where it is. I would write 5 pages one day, come back, write 10 pages. And once I got to, like, the middle part of the story, I wanted to finish it. It got to where I would wake up in the morning, and it would be in my mind like the movie I saw on TV yesterday, and I want to know what's happening next. But actually, I was writing it. So after I was done with it, it was a matter of finding somebody who liked it.
Okay, find somebody who liked it. Okay, I ain't here to laugh. Okay, so oh my God, that is amazing. So like, when you formatting a story, that's one of the things that I'm kind of confused about, because I was thinking about actually writing some stuff down. but I don't know. It's like I always end up starting from the middle. Like I don't even know how to begin. Like how do you learn where to begin it, where you want the middle to be in, and then like ultimately how to end it? Like what? Well,
actually, you can tell it how you want to tell it, because with Cold Queen, I start off kind of her in a situation where I start off kind of, the story that I'm telling with Cold Queen, it doesn't start from the beginning. If you ask me, I think that's kind of boring. It kind of starts from the beginning with the action, and I just kind of take it back and tell everybody what the story is. If you got a story, it's all about, like you say, it's all about format. You just gotta find a way. You know how you like the story told, so just tell a story the same. You know how you like to watch a movie, so it's the same thing. Just tell your story the same way you would want to watch it on TV, or the same way you would want to read it yourself on paper.
Yeah, like Paid in Full, and started with who was that on Ace Boogie?
With Ace Boogie, they at the beginning at the table, and you probably didn't know that.
Yeah, he was already getting money. Then it flagged back to him working in the cleaners.
That's my favorite movie.
Oh, that's my favorite movie. Oh my God, the quotes in that movie. I can't live life without that thing.
They eat Chinese food at the beginning, and they start off in the scene. That's how you got only 30 seconds to gain somebody's attention before they turn on the page. So that's what I always think about. Like, even when you on Facebook or you on social media, I don't care who's your best friend. If their story not interested, you're going to keep on scrolling. You're going to stop to where something catches your eye. So I always try to remember when I'm writing, I got about 30 seconds to a minute to catch their attention, and I got to catch it enough for them to want to continue to read the rest of the book. I think that's what it's about.
That's exactly true. People are like, man, I don't know what it is, man. Like, the majority of the stuff coming out now is killing people's attention span, man. Like, attention spans are dropping, like, with 5 and 10 seconds. If you can't grab nobody by the collar in 10 seconds, you might as well just keep your video down, especially if it's long.
Yeah.
Man, and I swear, people want a whole story in 23 seconds. Like, tell me everything about it in 23 seconds. So I got to get to the next question. What is the hardest part of writing? Like, what's the hardest part?
The hardest part is, for me, is a lot of stuff I write about, I kind of got somewhere to get the story from. So when I get to the part that kind of out of what I've been through is making up something, it's hard for me. It's hard for me to keep going. Like, I only can tell what I know, but still in those places, and it's going out of my range, it gets hard, and I have to, like, kind of step back. And then I just go to the computer and I Google it. You can Google anything these days. If it's talking about something that I haven't experienced, or in the book that I wrote about, she's so dope to a level I've never experienced. So for those areas, I had to, she bought things like that I've never knew nothing about, like Bentleys. I had to go and take time out and research where you get a Bentley from, how much a Bentley costs, how much this costs. So the hard part of me was to just know what you're talking about. Because believe it or not, people on your reviews, they're going to question you about, even though it's fiction, to them it's not. When they read it, they're going to say stuff like it don't make sense or it don't add up. And you might think it's fiction, but to them, they're reading it like it's a real story. So that would be the hardest part, is just to figure out how to plug in the stuff that I haven't been through, or what's going on.
Yeah, that is true, because if you read a story, somebody was like, because we was balling out, and I bought a Bentley for $56,000. You'd be like, $56,000?
Yes.
That's a $250,000.
You're like, no. No.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah, and it was bulletproof. Like, you had a bulletproof Bentley, $56,000, huh? What's up?
Exactly. I had to, for my part as Mo, I actually did a lot of research on Griselda Blanco. I did a lot of research on her because she's the only female that I know in real life that sold drugs the way that Mo sold drugs in the book. So a lot of research went into her whole lifestyle. I guess you got to know. It takes time to know what you're writing about. You just can't. Even if you got an idea of what you want to write about, you still have to do research to make the book good enough to where people, want to read the next.
Yeah, that's totally true. And to keep the attention of the reader throughout the whole thing, that's actually, that sounds like it's a hassle within itself. Like, that sounds kind of hard to do as well, just to keep the person entertained. Oh my God! So that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. How many attempts did it take you to get to the point where you was published?
Only one. And what happened was I was gonna self-publish it. I had edited and cleaned it up as best as I knew how, and I was like researching different indie, publishers, people who had self-published their books. I kind of just learned everything that I could on my own, and I was just one click away from submitting it. And I started just studying the Amazons, like top 10 in my genre, and I would go to see who had published some of them, and then I would see if they're on Facebook or if they're on Instagram, and a few of them were, and I would ask them certain questions about, their publishing company or whatever. And some people I just kind of like, no, I don't want to be with them, and I finally found one that I felt like was in my genre that probably would appreciate what I had, and I sent it to them. I talked to them and asked them what to do and how to do it, and like within an hour I sent in my story, my first 5 chapters. It was like 9 o'clock. I went to sleep, took a nap, woke up like at 12, and I had an inbox saying, send us the rest of this book. We love it. We love this book. You got to send us the rest of the story. And that's pretty much how it got started.
Wow.
It was validation for me.
Wow.
You got something. You got something.
Wow. That's amazing. So one try. You came home, you had a dream. Dang. Came home, had a dream, tried it one time, and actually got somebody who took an interest in. Told you, hey, come on in, man. Let's do this. Let's keep it moving. That's cool. That's cool. That's actually pretty cool. So, like, okay. Do you ever get writer's block? Like, how do you avoid writer's block, or like circumvent yourself from getting to a point where you just get writer's block and you just put it down and walk away from it for a long period of time, and then you lose the fire? That's what happened with a lot of authors. What do you do to avoid that?
It happened to me once, and I think Cold Queen would be the book that ever took me the longest to write. And I learned the longer you take, the harder it's going to be, because you kind of forget some of the stuff that's happened. And if you just go ahead and sit down in a couple of weeks and just write it all in one walk, you kind of more connected to the character. But if you stretch it out over a couple of months, you find yourself picking up saying, I'm sick of writing the same old story, So and now I've learned to write more than one story at one time. So if it's a Monday and I got writer's block, I might not pick back up on that certain story till Friday, and that's a lot of time, and I'm trying to be successful in what I'm doing. And 5 days is a lot of time when people are expecting these books. So what I do is I'll just write 2 or 3 different stories at the same time. And while I'm working on one story, in the back of my head, I'm thinking of something good for the next story. And by the time I get writer's block on one story, I can go back to the second story or the third story, and it keeps the cycle going like that. It's just like watching Monday you watch this TV show, and Tuesday you watch this TV show, and then Wednesday you watch this show. It's like I give myself days, and each day it's a new show. I just write I'm writing it though. That's pretty much how I look at it.
Yeah, that's cool. So it's like Monday you watching Scandal, then Tuesday you watch NCIU or Law and Order SVU or something. So that way you don't really weigh yourself out on something or burn yourself out on one show or one topic. Damn, you know what? That's actually pretty cool. I might have to try that with some of my lady friends. You know what? I might have to try that like that. You could use that type of advice in real life situations right there. So I'm just kidding. Any of my lady friends listen, I'm just joking, ladies. I'm just playing. Joy, you gonna get me killed. You gonna get me killed, Joy. Let me see what we got here. one of my biggest obstacles and what I'm trying to do is like, oh my God, my kids are so active at this age. Like they don't understand boundaries, quiet time, and Daddy got to work on this. And it's just like, you know what, Daddy, I'm mad at something. I need to talk to you now. So like, being a mother, like, how do you find the time and the quiet to be able to do something like writing?
You know what? And I just thought about this. You know, I write late at night. I always been a night owl. Even when I was a little girl, I'm one of those people. I'll go to bed at 8:30. I'll leave the kids up and like, I'm going to sleep on y'all. Y'all ain't talking about nothing. I'll leave them up by themselves just so I can wake up at 12 and it's peaceful in the house. I love walking around in the dark by myself. The children are asleep. Like, that's the best. I get my coffee. My keyboard lights up so I can leave the lights off. I think better like that. It's quiet. I can just kind of throw my head back, and before I write, I try to fantasize about what I want to write about. I want to see it in my head so that I can write real quick and get a lot done. So for me, the best time to get it done is at night, and during the day, I just kind of just keep the ideas in my head, you know, for the night. And they know, they kind of, sometimes I have to get things done in the morning or during the day, and I go in a separate room, but they kind of, you know, they got my back on it because they know I've been to prison, and they see me trying to come up, not giving up like so many other people have. They see it every day where, you know what, she tried this job, but she tried to get that job, and they wouldn't give her a chance. Like, she making a way out of no way. Actually, I named my daughter, her name was Poetry. I named her Poetry because I always like writing poems. She's 12. I got another daughter, her name is Story. I don't know why I named the Story. I just named the Story. I got another daughter. I know you're like, damn, how many kids she got? Her name is Dynasty. I just felt like I'm going to be in control. This is my clan, and one day I'm going to make something out of all of us, and they depending on me to do that. And that's kind of what keep me writing is all my bad kids.
You know what, and the awesome thing about that I will actually, I got a compliment too. You about to have some kids that's going to think outside the box. Because, like, everybody, like, I don't know if it is just the African-American trend that we tend to think that the only way to get rich is to play sports, rap, or sing. Oh, my God. Now, when you get rich writing, and by you going so hard in the area of writing, man, that's really showing your kids, like, man, your mama think outside the box, baby. Like, this ain't the only way you can make some money. And then, they could either follow in your footsteps, they could take it a step farther to the point of, they could take it to a point where they could go to school to be on, what's that, journalism? They could take journalism at school and actually pursue that type of career as well. So that's hot right there. I like that. Thinking outside the box, I'm a fan. I'm a very big fan of that.
I mean, I look at it like everything that we see on TV is written. Everything on TV is written. Every show that you like, your favorite show, even reality TV, is written. Somebody got to write it. Somewhere behind the scenes is somebody even bigger than the person that we're seeing on the TV. They got to write it. So if I could just be one of those people, I'm good. They can have the fame. I just want the money. I want to bring me and my family up. This is what I do it for. It ain't the stunt. It ain't for none of that. I want to wake up in the morning and know my kids is happy and I'm happy and we good.
Me personally, my focus is just being able to wake up in the afternoon. Like, I don't even want to wake up in the morning no more. Like, I'm doing the wake. When my success comes, every alarm clock in my house got to go. Anything, matter of fact, I don't even want no watch no more. I don't want to know what time it is. When I wake up, I want the sun to start going down. I'm becoming the night owl. I want to live a life of relaxation.
Thank you.
I want to relax.
Free.
Oh, yes. Like, everything is gonna be debited out in the account. I don't want to deal with nothing. I just want luxury and relaxation. I gotta ask the next one. Okay, we already asked that. Okay, if it's anybody out here that's aspiring to become an author, like what would be one of the first things you would tell them as advice to start to pursue it? One of the first steps they could take.
I would say first, you got to believe in your craft. You got to believe in your talent. If you know that you got it, you got to believe in that. You got to search for people who do what you do. You know what I'm saying? You ain't heard of football players hanging with basketball players. You got to, if it's what you do, you got to surround yourself around people that do what you do so that you can learn. You can vibe off of them. You can learn what they learn. You got to research it. It's just like going to school for 4 years to become a counselor. So for you learning what you know for 4 years so that you become successful in what it is that you know. So I would just say find publishers that work in the genre that they're working into, and just trust yourself and send those manuscripts in. No doubt that they're gonna reach out to you.
And that's you know what? That's one of my mottos. Basically, find some type of way to gain yourself some business contacts. That's one of my mottos as far as, like, if you want to be into any type of craft, you want some business contacts. What I do, I'm a sweet talker, and I don't mind spending a couple dollars. Like, if I wanted to open up a car lot, I'm going to somebody's car lot, and I'm sitting down. I might end up buying some breakfast or whatever, and I'm going to angle my way in to buy myself into a conversation. And when I do, and I start, and I get that dude's mouth to running, I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to take notes, and I'm going to angle myself in some type of way to get all the information I could possibly get. And then when I get some phone numbers, oh, believe me, you might as well lock me in, because you're going to be seeing my last four popping up. But I'm asking questions. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty cool. I like that. You say what? Okay, well, like, could you let the people know before we take some callers, because we're running low. We got about 10, 12 more minutes. We got to take some callers in a minute. I got another caller. I don't know if she gonna be ready for me, but I'm supposed to be going on her actual radio station, and I want her, even if she just come in and plug her radio station, her show, and some of the stuff she do on her show, and just say hey to Joy, and congratulate Joy on the book. Of course, you gotta congratulate Joy on the book, and like say a few things. I gotta ask you a question before we take a call. What type of potential money can you possibly see off of being an author?
Well,
Joy.
I don't know yet actually, but I'm thinking it's pretty good. I'm at 40% where I'm finding now, and I think those are good numbers. We're actually doing better on Amazon, and the format that we're using the ebook way, we're selling a lot better that way than we are traditional ways in bookstores, So I just have all I can tell you is holler at me next year, and I have faith that it'll be real good. It'll be real good because so like I said, some of your favorite movies, they come from authors, so it you never know. I might have a script on the TV you watch one day.
Only thing I know, I can't play the co-queen, but I could probably play the boyfriend. But as long as the girlfriend ain't too tall, the co-queen ain't too tall. Like, she can't be like 6'5", and I'm 5'6". Like, no.
Look, even the co-queen, she's tall. She gotta be tall. I had to make her tall.
You know what? No, thank you. I don't even want to go in and try to rehearse or nothing. I'm cool. I'll play the little brother or something.
But I tell you what, she run with a muscle team of guys that protect her. So you can be one of the 4 guys. She called them her muscle team. So you can be one of the 4 guys and make sure don't nobody touch the co-queen.
Okay, I gotta get some muscles first.
Yeah, we'll put you in there.
I gotta go. Yeah. All right. Let me take a caller. Then I'm gonna ask you another question. Let me take a caller. This is my girl right here, Regina. Regina, what's going on, baby? I'm about to let you in. Say hey to Joy, and ask a question to one of us or whatnot. Are you there, Regina?
Hey, my brother. I'm here. What's going on?
Hey.
It's phenomenal to hear y'all speak, and just, I've never really thought about the writers behind the things, the various episodes that are going on TV shows, on anything going on TV, and how they really need somebody to step up and write the things down to grasp people's attention. So that's phenomenal what y'all talking about.
Yes. Y'all know like
joy.
the number one show right now is Empire. So Empire is very hood. They bringing the hood to the TV now. They starting to realize, and we not illiterate. We not just ain't putting nothing on TV. We want to see that we can relate to. So now they finally realizing it.
Oh, awesome. That's what's up.
You got any questions for any one of us, Regina?
Well, I'm just sitting back listening to you all, and just seeing the things that you're doing and that you plan on doing, and how you're educating others in the aspect of the things that you're doing yourself. So I think that that's just great that what you're doing. I really don't have a question, but just my hat's off. I just want to encourage and tell you to keep on pressing forward and doing what you do, because a lot of people are not opening their eyes and ears to see and hear what y'all are saying, and now you all are bringing it to the forefront so you can be heard, you can be seen. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, you gotta plug your show.
Oh, okay. I'm on the internet radio program every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. It's SOAR Radio, SOAR radio.com, or download this free application that's on the Android or iPhone. You download Live 365, and when you download that app, you can just type in SOAR Radio, and it'll come up. And it's a gospel program that that we're plugged into. The name of the program is called Reach Out and Touch the Hem of His Garment. And I like to bring people onto the program that talk about what's going on in the community, what's going on in the lives, what's going on in our, what has happened to us, our testimonies, to try and allow others to grow and learn from that. And we also play music.
Okay.
That's
so
y'all heard
music.
the lady. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. They play gospel music. Y'all heard the lady, Mrs. Regina. Log in, download the app, come check it out. Man, we got to be more involved in our communities, y'all. We got to start pressing the play button and start learning how we could change our own surroundings and change our environment and change ourselves ultimately. Because the only people is going to help us, black people, is black people, believe it or not.
Yes.
So we got to start making some changes, y'all. Let's get this money. All right, Regina, I'm going to take another caller. You are awesomely amazing, and I will get up that day, and I will be able to get on the show. I'm going to set my alarm clock as soon as we set it up. Thank you for calling in, Regina. I'm about to take another caller. With 7, starting in 757. Last 4 is 7990. You are going live in 3, 2, 1. All right, 7990. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, Matt? Who you want to talk to, bro?
Actually, I want to reach out to my sister, Joy Jackson. This is Miguel.
Hey, Miguel.
How you doing, sis?
All right, how you doing?
I'm all right. I just want to say it's a big inspiration. I'm real proud of you. Actually, I do have a question, because after you put out your book and you put it out there for everybody to check it out, me and the family and everybody else bought the book, read it, very, very impressed, very proud of you. I pass it on to some of my friends as well, who I know is in that type of genre. My question is, I've had a book since I was in the Navy. It's not on your level, of course. It's more so just spoken word and poetry. And I could never get over that hump of actually sticking it in front of somebody and asking them to take a look at it and see if it was worthy. How did you get over that?
To be honest, I never did because, like I said, I've been through so much. I had a mentality that I had it, and this is gonna work. And where I was at, I could have, somebody could have turned me down. I could have been like something wrong with them. So it goes back to knowing that it's worthy. You just gotta know, and if they don't like it, it gotta be them. That's what I would say. You got enough followers. I believe that if you was to self-publish your own work, that it'll just take up. A publisher would find you. Me and my personal journey, I don't think I could have done that. But I know you, and I know that your followers go deep. Enough people will support you in self-publishing that it will just pick up.
Okay. Cool. Can I add to that? Is that okay, Joy, if I can add to that? Joy, is it okay for me to add to it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Like, one of my things, I don't know about the angle of writing, but I do a lot. Well, I mean, I do a lot of business. Basically, bro, it's select your audience, correct? Bro, I'm going to keep it real with you because this is a real show. If 2 Girls, 1 Cup can do millions of views, it's people who like that type of stuff. So it's nothing in this world, bro. Is you feeling me, bro? It's nothing in this world that don't have an audience, bro. It's an audience to anything, the most sickest to the most greatest, from God to the devil, from ammunition to cell phones. Like, it don't matter. It's an audience for everything, bro. So it's somebody, and there's a group of people that's going to like it. And the more you fish, the more you got the opportunity to find that group of people. If people shut you down, they just not into that. You know what I'm saying? So don't take it personally. Man, believe me, bro, I'm trying to put something positive out. Do you know how hard that is? Like, people do not press play to positive stuff. But if I was stabbing 4 cats while I'm taking some Rottweilers and gutting them, and then taking a lion and beating them, like, I would have millions of views because it's violence. People love violence, but when it comes to something positive, people just won't press the play button to save their life, and it could actually save their life. So keep fishing, bro. Put your stuff out there. Don't be scared of what people going to say back, bro. And you're going to get way more negativity than positivity. That's what I think.
And then I will add that your favorite poet, your favorite authors, what I did do is I went and found their personal stories on Google, and I read their personal bios, and they talk about some of the stuff that they did. So I just went and did what they did. Like, they tell who they reached out to and what they did, and you just kind of mimic what the people that you want to be like, the people you hope to be like. You just kind of mimic their steps. It's just like your teachers. That's what I look at it like.
Okay, cool.
I can't believe it. My girl Wooga called in. Okay. That is awesome, though, bro. I hope we was able to answer your questions, bro. Honestly, we gonna take one more caller, and then I'm gonna ask a couple more questions. Then we gotta wrap it up. Okay, let me see. Caller ending in 1769, 513 area code. What we got here? You're going live. 1769. What's going on? Oh, okay. They clipped. They was clipped off the line. They was clipped. So I'm just gonna ask the question. What's some of the main outlets for advertisement that you like to use, like for something like that? What do I know you use a few social media sites, social networks, and is there any other things that you could possibly use for advertising? Joy?
That's basically it, what I use. You know, for word of mouth, like I said, people around, I stay in a small community, so people pretty much know me and know my story. So to see that I'm doing this, it kind of, you know, they kind of begging me on it. You have, like I said, you have the social media, you have Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. And today, nowadays, if you not advertising on social media, then you kind of missing a big chunk of money somewhere, because that's where everything's at. So many TV shows are getting, you know, cut because, like BET, they ain't showing videos no more because everybody's too busy online. So today, I think that's the way to go about doing things is social media.
Yeah, that's actually true. I could believe that. Like I use a lot of social media to promote the things that I'm doing, trying to find other outlets as well. One last question. Where do you want to go after you get the publicity? After your name up, your sales go through the roof, what direction you want to go in after that?
I'm hoping one day, me and my team, I got a new deal. I'm with Ambience Books. That's with Naya Moore. Naya's been in the game for a long time, since 2007. She's actually signed with Zane. So to have her as my boss is everything. So if anybody in the house, the publishing house, and I'm ex, just write that story to get us all on the big screen, I would love that. That's my goal. You go to school, you go to graduate. For me, graduation would be somebody contacting me and saying, we want to put it on Netflix, or we want to make this into a movie, or we want to make this into a series. That's my point where I say, okay, it's time for me to get a new goal because this has been fulfilled. That's my goal, is to keep writing until I catch somebody's attention that want to say, let's put this book where they can see it. Let's make it a visual. That's my ultimate goal.
Okay. We got the amazing Joy Jackson with the amazing story. Straight up and down, man. Like she said before, she came from a situation, she hustled, ended up taking a fall while she was down, you know what I'm saying, in a joint. You feel me? She was down, and then she just came with a way to shake up out of it. Came home, started writing, and now look at her. You was number 8 on Amazon when you first put the book out?
When I first put it out, but I peaked at number 5 and it was my first book. I peaked at number 5 for maybe 24 hours, and then it went back down. But yeah, it was like just to make the Amazon list. There's like 1 million books on Amazon. So to get ahead on my very book, it's a different genres, but just in my genre alone, they got at least over 300,000. So just to skip all of that, it's validation for me to keep on going for what I know. And where I'm at now, we got some good writers. Like I always tell them, we got the hood over there, and the hood ain't got nothing but stories to tell. So we'll look out for that.
That's real.
I'm working on the next book right now. It's not Coke Queen 2, but it's another book. I will be coming out with Coke Queen 2 within about 4 to 5 months. I'm working on. I love females. I love females that run stuff. So, of course, this will be another one of those books, and it'll be out pretty shortly or whatever. And just kind of be on the lookout for us, because in 2015, we're going to make a lot of noise. We plan on it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I can see that happening. All right,
yeah.
Well, I got this the part of the show where I'm going to let you plug everything, Facebook pages, any groups, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, anything you want to plug before we get up out of here.
Okay, you can like my Facebook page. It's the author Joy Jackson. Well, it's author Joy Jackson. I'm thinking I got 5,000 friends, so you can't probably follow me on Facebook. Instagram. Let me see what my Instagram.
You can follow you. You can't friend you, but they can follow you on Facebook.
They can follow me.
They can follow you.
Yes. My Instagram page is Joy J, Joyj, and then the number 481. Of course, like I said, everything's about my hood, so it's Joy J 481, and it's the same name on Twitter. It's follow me at Joy J 481 on Twitter. So, and if you just go to my author page, all that stuff is on my author page. So just go to my author page on Facebook, author Joy Jackson, and later on, sometime in the day, through you, I can give away a free copy of my book. They just get in contact with you through your page, Ybetv, and just you will let me know what person you feel like deserves it or whatever. And then sometime today I'll send a free copy out of that book.
Okay, that's cool. And last but not least, I'm going to do my plug. You can follow me on Twitter at YBETV1, Facebook, y.b.e.t.b, YouTube, YBE, space, TV. You already know what it is. It's tuned. And if you don't know the slogan is, if you don't want to end up in a box, think outside of it. Thanks for joining the amazing Joy Jackson, YBE. You already know what it is. Tune in next week for the next episode with somebody new. Thanks for listening.